Hello guys, since some of you were asking if this build can be done in like 2 divines budget, and yes, it can be done. The build performs pretty good for this budget, of course, and I think it's a good point to start making more currency for the expensive items for this build. So at the currency exchange I bought 244 exalted orbs for 2 divines. That's the price for the moment when I was recording the video. For the weapon we want to get a corrupted one with flat elemental damage at the top, and then use runes to socket it with even more flat elemental damage. Gloves, you want to get as much flat elemental damage as you can, or the physical damage, because we don't get to use the gloves, the Hand of Wisdom and Action gloves. They are pretty expensive, there are 4 divines at least, I think. We have to get some flat elemental damage where we can. That's why we are putting flat elemental damage almost everywhere in the gear where we can. So yeah, gloves with triple flat elemental damage, and if you can get maybe some dexterity or resist, that might be good. And for the rings, yeah, flat elemental damage is our priority. Then you might aim for some maximum life, then strength or dexterity. Actually, for the amulet you can get lots of attributes there, with plus to all attributes, strength and dexterity, and with the strength implicit, that will be perfect, because our main source of damage is the percentage increased weapon damage on our weapon, and it gets 10% per 5 strength, so we want to stack as much strength as you can. Then dexterity and intelligence is basically useless for us because we don't use the Hoa gloves. The body armor, you want to get at least 1000 evasion rating and some life resistance, that will be perfect. And for the belt and the helmet, you want to make sure you get one with a strength, some life and resistance. And the boots, movement speed, life and resistance, and you will be good. We also have 6 jewels to socket in this build, and I went with jewels that have either the critical bonus damage or critical hit chance. And on the one jewel, you really want to recover some percent of the life on the kill. That's really good for your sustain while mapping. I'm using just the 3 links, none of my skills are 4 link. And yeah, my main skill is Ice Strike, linked to Martial Tempo, Primal Armament and Concentrated Effect. Then you have Bell with Overabundance, Soul Thief and the Rage. Next is Cast on Shock, socket with Eye of Winter, Chain and Inspiration for less mana costs. Herald of Thunder, Cold Infusion, Glaciation and Deep Freeze. Herald of Ice, Lightning Infusion, Magnified Effect and Conduction. You want to make sure that your Herald of Ice is shocking enemies and your Herald of Thunder is freezing enemies to make the chain explosions. Wind Dancer, linked to Maim and Blind. Ghost Dance, there you socket Clarity. Hand of Chayula with Voltaic Mark, Conductivity and Heightened Curse. And Shattering Palm without any supports, just to blink to the enemies. Okay, and now I will show you the clips of me buying every item for this build. If you are not interested, just skip to the next part. Okay, so with the leftover currency we want to buy some armorer scraps to improve the quality of our chest, mainly of our chest. We also want to use it on our boots and helmet, but it's mainly for our chest. So if you are short on exalted orbs, you can just don't quality up your helmet and boots. We also want to grab adaptive catalysts to improve our attributes on rings and amulet. You want to buy some iron runes for your chest to have even more evasion rating, and storm runes for your weapon to add some more light flat lightning damage. And the last thing that we will add to this build is the Amulet Anoint, and we will be anointing Deadly Flourish, since that's very cheap anoint. So for the mapping, you really just want to use your Shattering Punch to blink to the enemies, and then use Ice Strike to make them explode with your Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder. And that's basically all what you have to do while mapping. And your combo for bosses is you want to start with the Hand of Chayula to apply Mark and Curse. Then you want to start attacking with Ice Strike to build up combo. And when you placed your first bell, you want to be ready to place another one, because Cast on Shock and Eye of Winter with Chain will proc this bell really fast. So for the maximum damage, you want to place bells as fast as you can. And at the end, I will leave you with a T17 map with a boss. But if you liked my guide, please leave a comment and sub, and maybe a like.